You know, there's lots of talk after a new year begins about resolutions and goals, but what about when the holidays actually made you realize that your relationship maybe isn't as wonderful as it seemed in front of all your friends and family when they were there? Our relationship expert, Kat Robey, kind of has some help for us. I'm almost going to say like a after the holidays hangover of what just happened.
What just happened to me? Yeah.
Yes. Is that kind of where we start, like just assessing like what happened?
I think that's kind of where we are in general right around this time of year, right? We're looking at what's working, what's not working. Do I need to have any resolutions in my life, anything like that? But yeah, looking at, well, you know, we were picture perfect in front of my family, but every day here we're not getting along, or vice versa. The holidays were horrible and I thought we were doing great. Well then, okay, what happened? Was it just holiday stress? Was it more than that? Really getting in there and asking some questions and reflecting on the state of the relationship is, you know, maybe a little refocus, a little pill after that hangover.
A pill after the hangover. But I think that's a great place to start because you're right. Sometimes the holidays just come with stress and maybe it's a phase and you'll get over it and you'll go back, bounce right back, or maybe it's a bigger problem. Maybe it's not, maybe it's time to part ways. Like, is that even a conversation we should be? Is this not working?
I think so. I think if you're going to ask those questions, first of all, if you've had the cue to start asking the questions in the first place, you've got to follow through where the answers lead. So if you find that you are constantly saying, well, she never does anything for me. I'm always doing everything. I'm always doing everything. Well, maybe you stop doing everything and see if that person meets you halfway, or maybe they don't. And maybe you honestly have to take into account what you're finding in your relationship. Or maybe, you know, you haven't really participated as the relationship, you know, partner you want to be. Are there ways that you're blaming them or feeling like you're not getting what you want? Maybe that's just a conversation, but maybe it has to do with, you know, am I being the best person I can be in the relationship? And like you said, maybe it comes down to, maybe this isn't working for me at all. But maybe some of the questions that lead us there are, why do I stay? What makes me stay in this relationship if I'm unhappy in it? Okay, well maybe it's the word of the day, isn't it? But it does spur curiosity.
Yes.
And that's actually what we want. Is it that we're thinking, I'm staying because I don't want to date anymore? I'm staying because I'm comfortable? I'm staying for whatever the reasons are.
I just don't want to be alone.
I just don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It might not even be a current relationship. It might be you're starting a relationship and you're wondering, am I really being who I truly am in this relationship? So even starting off, being able to say, am I okay sharing opinions, and am I happy, and am I willing to have conversations about stuff versus just take things as they come because I want to have a relationship.
Well, and at the beginning, we all know you kind of put your best foot forward, but that can be a long-term, does this person even really know who I am? Am I really getting past that surface of I want you to be happy, or let's do what you want to do all the time, or there's a lot of that even at the beginning, or even if you're searching for a relationship, if you're open to one, you start to kind of be assessing that also.
Yeah, along the whole continuum. Who are you being in the relationship is a great question to answer. And are you doing things because you want to stay in this relationship? So maybe you're accepting some things that, you know, maybe they're not deal breakers, but there's other ways that this person shows up in the relationship and you decide, yeah, actually I do want to stay. And we can tweak in this way and we can have communication about these things that we can improve together. Or maybe you notice that you're constantly trying to get someone's attention and you're being strung along and you don't know where the relationship is going and you start looking further and further into that. You know, letting what's true be true about the relationship is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's also scary because that might mean that you're alone, might mean you need to have to start over. And then weighing out, do you want to just stay in a relationship that's floundering, or do you want to really thrive in your relationship? And what will that require from you?
Yes. And we say this a lot when we sit down here and we talk about relationships. If you're going to do this, you're going to do an assessment regardless of whatever topic we're covering. You also have to do a what am I bringing to the table part, because I know it's so easy to do that, well, they're not, or they are, or whatever. But you have to be honest and be like, did I check out also?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's important. And I know we're coming off the holidays and we're kind of pegging this off that. You know, I know somebody that they were having problems with the in-laws and with the husband and everything, but she just kept saying, well, it's the holidays. I don't want to ruin the holidays. So, you know, I'm just going to keep pushing it off. And then by the time the new year gets here, you're not refocusing on what the problems were.
Right.
So I think this time of year is so all over the place.
Yeah.
But you're right, new year, it's a good time as a refocus.
And even if your focus is on the other person and what they're doing wrong, look at your reaction to what they're doing wrong then. If that's your perspective, then keep trying to shift it back to, even when you do this, this is how I react.
Oh. There's so many layers. I say that every time me and you sit down. There's so many layers. But before we go, Kat, you always have such great advice. And I know you have something coming up that we want to hit on really quick. That's kind of more like life in general.
For everybody.
Tell me about what you have coming up.
On the 13th of January, we're having a full day, kind of an immersion into, are you living the life that you want to live? Or are you feeling what I hear all the time, stuck, overwhelmed, going through your day, don't know where your days are going, not really feeling like you're in charge of your schedule. So let's figure out what's in your way that you can move, that's part of your own perception, that you can shift and move forward into a life that feels like it's really fulfilling to you.
How do I come to this?
Wow, well, you can call me at 906-3392 or email me at cat2541@msn.com, and I will give you the information. It's 9 to 5. It's at the Forum at Tucson, and it's $95 for the whole day. So usually that's $100 an hour to meet with me individually. So it's a good long stretch to get in there and dig through where your life wants to go.
And your life will be changed. Believe me, Kat can do that for you. Thank you so much for coming in. Now, if you've also been interested in professional advice, give Kat Robey a call, 520-906-3392, or you can visit robeycounseling.com as well.